So I just got done talking about my favorite games for 2021 that I've played, and I came out with a good 7 amount of games in that video, but now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the games for 2022 that I'm most anticipating. Granted, I'm saying 2022, but this is actually gonna be for 2022 and beyond. So some of these games don't really have release dates, but anything that's coming out basically this year or beyond is pretty much anything that I'm gonna talk about in this video. Just as a little disclaimer, there is about 14 games here that I have in my list. None of them are in any order whatsoever, so I guess let's get right into it. So I guess I'll talk about the one that's probably coming out the closest, and that's gonna go ahead and be Pokemon Legends Arceus. So recently, I've been playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond on my Nintendo Switch, and I've been having a blast with it. And Nintendo is actually coming out with another game, I think also based off of the Sinnoh region, so Gen 4 as far as I know, and it's gonna be pretty much like a Breath of the Wild style game, very open world. We've never had anything like this for the Pokemon series, nothing that has ever been open world like this, so I'm actually super excited to get into this game. I have no idea what kind of Pokedex it will follow. I don't know if it's going to be like a national dex or if it's going to have like a bunch of different Pokemon from different generations, or if it's only going to be like Gen 4, but regardless, I'm still looking forward to this game. Getting to play an open world Pokemon game has always been something that I've wanted since I was a little kid, and this is pretty much our first foray into this, so I'm really looking forward to this coming out this month actually. So really soon we're gonna be able to delve into this game, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna try and build my favorite Pokemon team with this, if all of them are available in the game. I have no clue what Pokemon are gonna be in this game, but again, whatever we get, I'll be happy with. I'm just happy to have an open world game to begin with. Next up on the list, I think, is the second game that is coming out closest after Pokemon, which is going to be Elden Ring. So this is from Software. This is their next big game after Sekiro, and I've always enjoyed the Soul series. I have not played Demon Souls yet, even though I do own it for the PS5. I still have not played it, but I have played and enjoyed every single one of the Dark Souls games, from Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne. I also have played a bit of Sekiro, but I have not made... I'm pretty much like in the beginning of the game. I haven't made a lot of progress in it. It is a very punishing game, but from what I heard, Elden Ring is actually a way easier from Software game, so I'm really excited to get into that game as well, because I've only seen one trailer from it, and that's all I really have to go off of it. So I want to see what From Software does with this new game. Next up on the list is gonna be a game that actually has released, I believe it was back in 2016 or 2017, but it's getting a DLC and along with it a physical release, which definitely sinks to me because I am someone who really enjoys physical release for video games. And that is going to be Cuphead in the Delicious Last Course. So I have never actually played Cuphead, but from what I heard, there's going to be this DLC releasing that is going to pretty much be the base game plus added content, which I've heard the horror stories with Cuphead being a very difficult game, and I'm up for the challenge. I gotta say, I'm someone who finds himself to be pretty good at platformers. I know this is kind of like a platformer plus like action in a way. You're pretty much like attacking while platforming. I think it's also kind of like a boss rush from what I heard. It's gonna be pretty fun to play this game for the very first time, not really knowing anything about it. I've only seen like a few of the boss fights, but besides that, I really have nothing else to really go off of. I love the art style of it, and it also has really good classic style music. Definitely looking forward to that when it comes out. I think it's coming out spring, if I'm not mistaken. Spring 2022. It's coming out this year, so I'm definitely gonna pick this up when it comes out, and honestly just try my best to not, lose my mind with it. Quite possibly the game that I am most looking forward to, or at least like top 3 for me, is A Plague Tale Requiem. So this is a sequel to a game that came out in 2019 called A Plague Tale Innocence. It was kind of a game that flew under a lot of people's radars. Not a lot of people know about this game, but I have played it in 2019, and honestly I fell in love with this game. I think it has a phenomenal story, really good voice acting, really good music, just like the world and everything was like so solid for a game that not many people knew about. I would say if you guys are into any, like, it's not really like horror by any means, it's more like a adventure game, but if you enjoy this type of story where it has kind of like horror elements into it, the basic premise is that you're pretty much a sister and a brother, and there's rats involved. There's like a whole plague going on with rats, and you're trying to get your brother to survive, as well as yourself and your friends that you come across. This is pretty much a continuation of the story. I don't want to spoil anything, but it does get really crazy, especially near the end. Whenever this game comes out, I am definitely playing the hell out of it. Like, there is going to be nothing else I'm going to do but play this game when it comes out. Definitely looking forward to this. I think it comes out this year, if I'm not mistaken. It might be this year, or might like be next year. I'm not exactly sure. I think there's a release date, or at least like a release year. So whenever it does come out though, I definitely want to go ahead and pick this up and play the heck out of it. It is one of my most anticipated games, that's for sure. I want to kind of go over this one real quick. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. I have played the original Advance Wars, and besides that, I've only played the Battalion Wars for GameCube, and they're pretty much coming out with a remake of it for the Switch, and I believe it's the first 2 games. So it's kind of like a tactical role-playing game where you control army units, and honestly, I really enjoyed playing the first game. I have not played the second one, so this is going to be my first time playing it, but regardless, I'm still going to play the first one again because it's going to be remastered. It's going to be like a new look to it. I think it's gonna have like sort of like a hand-drawn style to it, so that's gonna be really cool, kind of like replaying through it and seeing the new graphical style of the game kind of like make a difference. It plays very similar to Fire Emblem in a way. It has like the whole like tactical RPG thing going on. Yeah, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is another game I'm looking forward to. It originally was supposed to be coming out last year in December, but I think it got pushed back to spring 2022, so it kind of sucks a little bit, but I'm still, whenever it comes out, I'm still going to be playing it, so I'm excited for it. Next up is Alan Wake 2. So I originally played the first Alan Wake for the Xbox 360. It was sort of an action-adventure game with some horror elements, but the thing I'm liking the most about this sequel that I am really excited about is the fact that the developers are going full-blown horror with this game. So this is going to be an actual horror game for Alan Wake, and I'm really excited. Initially I didn't really care too much for Alan Wake 1, if I'm being honest. I want to give it another shot because when I first played Alan Wake, the first one, I was like a teenager and I didn't really understand too much about what was going on. I understood like most of it, but like I probably wasn't in that right mindset to really have an appreciation for the game. I feel like now as a full-fledged adult, I can replay the game. I think they have like a remastered that came out recently, so I want to replay that remastered at some point, give the story another shot before I play the second game. I don't know when that's going to be, but at some point I will do that, and then when the second game comes around, I'll be ready for it, and I'll also enjoy the hell out of the whole horror aspect of the game. Alan Wake 2, we don't know much about the game besides that. It only has like one trailer so far, so yeah. I think it's coming out 2022 as well. I might be wrong in saying, or no, 2023. I'm pretty sure it's 2023 that's coming out. So we have a while before it comes out, but regardless, still looking forward to it a lot. We'll be playing the first one again before the second one comes out, that's for sure. All right, next up, we got Bayonetta 3. I have played through Bayonetta 1 and 2. I played through Bayonetta 1 multiple times, and Bayonetta 2 I played once on the Wii U. And yeah, the third game is coming out, and it's looking really spicy, I gotta say. Looking from the gameplay trailer that we had, Bayonetta 3 is looking really good, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really enjoy the Bayonetta series. I'm also really looking forward to see where the story is gonna take us. It also has amazing cutscenes, like really freaking great cutscenes. A lot of them are very funny, and I'm anticipating that. I really can't wait until we have Bayonetta 3 in our hands, and then we get to see the game unfold before us. Alright, another game I'm super looking forward to, guys, is Dead Space Remake. I love Dead Space 1 a lot. I played every Dead Space game. 3 I wasn't too big a fan of. I've pretty much talked about this a bit in my top 13 horror games video, but I didn't really care too much for 3, but 1 and 2 are great freaking horror games that I really recommend anybody who is into horror that hasn't played it to play it. Pretty much we're getting a remake of the very first Dead Space, which is great because I honestly would love to I want any sort of excuse to revisit Dead Space. any sort of excuse, and this is it. I don't know when this game is coming out exactly, but when it does come out, I am definitely gonna pick this up and I'm gonna play the heck out of it as well. Probably gonna try and 100% it because I don't think I've ever 100% a Dead Space game, as in like getting all the files and everything. This is definitely going to be something that I'm going to play the heck out of, probably get all the trophies, all the achievements or whatever. Dead Space Remake, whenever this comes out, I am definitely going to be on it. Another game that is coming out that I don't know too much about, but I do like the creator behind it, is Ghostwire Tokyo. So I believe this is by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil, is making this game. Or I don't know if he's making it or if he's just like looking over the development. But yeah, there was some gameplay of it. It looks like it could be horror, but at the same time, there's parts of it that don't really seem like it's horror. I don't really know what to make of it. It's a very strange game. I would definitely recommend, I mean, I'll probably have it up on the video, but like the gameplay trailer of it looks very, very strange. Don't really know what to make of it, but you know, regardless, if it's by Shinji Mikami, I'm definitely going to be picking this up and I'll be playing it. And on that same note, I'm going to continue the little horror game lineup here. Next up on the list is Slither Head, and this got released, or this got announced to us in the Game Awards that just happened recently, and it is pretty much by the makers of Silent Hill. So we only had like this little snippet of it in the Game Awards. There's really not much to go off of, but guys, I just as much as Resident Evil, I love the Silent Hill franchise, so I am taking anything that they can give us by these makers. I will eat it up. So anytime, whenever this game comes out, I want to see more gameplay on it though, but whenever this game does come out, I will also be purchasing this and also playing the heck out of it. Alright, and then we have Senua's Saga Hellblade II. This also got announced, I believe it was an E3 of the previous year. We got more actual gameplay of it in the Game Awards that just happened in 2021. And I have played the original Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, and I really enjoyed it. It was actually up there as one of my favorite games of 2017. And now we're getting the sequel to it, and guys, the gameplay trailer for it looks so freaking good. If you see the gameplay, it looks like it's like the cutscenes and the gameplay are just fluid. Like it just transitions one to the other and you cannot tell the difference with it. Gameplay looks so surreal. It looks so realistic. It looks so great. And honestly, I've seen the trailer for it like a couple of times, and every time I watch it, it gives me goosebumps. The sound design with the game as well as the visuals are so good that it just, I don't know what to feel. Like I just start like shaking, like my skin just starts getting goosebumps. It's so good. I cannot wait for this game to come out. This is another game I think that's up there for me, especially I think like top 5 for me. Really looking forward to this game. Alright, and then with that, we're going to end off with 3 more lighthearted games. So, first off, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So, I enjoyed some of the Kirby games. I've played Kirby 64, I've played Star Allies, I've played Planet Robobot. I'm someone who enjoys his Kirby games. It's not like one of my favorite Nintendo series or anything. It's up there for me, but it's not like top 3 or anything for me. But I still do enjoy the Kirby games, plus Kirby is my main in Smash Bros, so I kind of have to represent a bit here. But pretty much this is a 3D Kirby game, which, I mean, we've gotten like 2D Kirby games, we've gotten 2.5D Kirby games. We have never received a 3D Kirby game, so this is going to be a first. I'm really excited to play this and see what it's like. I mean, we're kind of in a world where we're getting like a lot of like Breath of the Wild type games, such as like, I guess like this Kirby game, you can kind of mention it, Pokemon Legends Arceus. There's a new Sonic game that's coming out that's kind of Breath of the Wild-ish. Like, there's so many games that's coming out that's kind of like Breath of the Wild, so this is going to be pretty cool to see how Kirby kind of forays into the 3D space, and I'm just looking forward to it. I want to see how Kirby 3D gameplay is going to be like. And speaking of Breath of the Wild, I mean, I might as well go ahead and talk about Breath of the Wild 2. Just as much as I love Resident Evil, I do love my Zelda series, so I am definitely looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 1 is a great, phenomenal game, still like one of the best games for the Nintendo Switch, and now we're gonna get a sequel. I believe it's coming out either this year or next year. I don't think there's like a concrete release year yet, but Breath of the Wild 2 is looking really good. There's been some gameplay videos for it, and a lot of it looks so great. Granted, Breath of the Wild is not like up there for me as like one of my favorite Zeldas. It's like top 5 for me, but it's not like in my top 3. Like for me, Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker. Those are my top 3. But I think Breath of the Wild would be like my 4th right after that. It's a great freaking game. It just didn't follow a lot of the traditional Zelda formula, but it's still a great game in its own right, and then the sequel is looking really, really spicy. Also, to add on to it, it's looking like it's going to be kind of a Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time in a way, where it's going to be kind of darker than the original. So I'm looking forward to see if there's going to be any horror in my Zelda. I'm always down for dark Zelda games, guys. Alright, and I'm going to close off with the last game here, and it's going to be Splatoon 3. So, Splatoon originally played back in 2015. It was a game that honestly caught me by surprise. I remember playing it, and I was like addicted to it. It was so fun. It even has like a competitive scene to it. And then there's the sequel, Splatoon 2, which came out for the Switch in 2018, I believe it was. I played that a good amount, but not as much as the first one. But Splatoon 3 overall is looking great. I believe it's going to have a new story mode to it, but the meat and potatoes of it is going to be the multiplayer. So Splatoon 3 multiplayer, Splatoon multiplayer just in general, it has always been very fun, very addicting, and I cannot wait to get back into it. It's been a good while since I played Splatoon, so I'm down to play a new Splatoon game. But yeah, that is going to be it for my games that I'm most looking forward to for 2022 and beyond. So I got 14 games here. A lot of it, I believe, is coming this year. Some of it coming out next year. Everything is looking really good, and I cannot wait. Starting with Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out very soon in a few weeks. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for this video for 2022. I hope you guys had a great new year, and coming up, I am definitely going to get back into the Resident Evil videos. I know I've been a little bad with continuing my series, but I'm going to edit and update with Resident Evil Remake Chris Playthrough Part 3. So I actually have it all finished, it's all recorded and everything, I just have to edit it. It's just getting to that editing is like the issue, but I will get to it and I will release it. And I also have a gameplay for an indie game that I have to release as well. So there's about like 2 or 3 more videos coming out fairly soon, and then after that I want to get into Resident Evil 2 Remake. I cannot wait for that because I want to play Resident Evil 2 Remake with S+ hardcore rank. It's going to be really fun to release that and also play through it for you guys. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with the next one. See you guys later.